Welcome back, everybody. Today we're going to get into the top 5 pieces of gear reviewed in 2015. So to be eligible for this video, basically it had to be reviewed in 2015, meaning the item had to be published. So some things that have appeared on the channel, but there's not like a feature review or something like that, is not eligible. So from January 1st to up until now, if it's been reviewed and it's not a gun, it's a piece of gear, it is eligible. So in my top 5 guns video reviewed in 2015, you guys got a little bit upset in the comment section about honorable mentions and told me just to get to the top 5. So that's what we're going to do in this video, top 5 only. We'll get into it next. As I went through my videos looking over what I've actually reviewed this year, one thing I noticed is that I reviewed a lot of optics. So you're going to see kind of optics heavy in this top 3. We have some other stuff though, of course, so stay tuned. But first off, we're going to go with a budget offering. It's the Bushnell Throwdown PCL, the illuminated version. Now the beauty of this one is that, number one, it works. It's extremely functional. You have the option to go between 1 power, and really it's not 1 power. I always say that with the 1 power scopes. It's more like 1.25-ish power. Not really a true 1 power scope, but goes all the way up to 4 power. So anything really within the 1 to 300 meter range, you're going to be able to pretty effectively engage with this optic. Now, the beauty of it is the cost. Like I said, generally under $200 back in that review video. Sometimes if you watch the sales, you can get it for even less. And it's rugged enough that most folks that I've seen use it, including myself, which it's been on videos here for a couple of years now on the channel, have never had an issue with it. The magnification adjustment is very smooth. It has that throw level to help you go back and forth really quickly if you want to jump out to 4 power to engage some stuff at longer distances, and then switch right back into 1 power and use that reticle sort of as a red dot up close and personal. So the price of it, again, very, very good. And the reticle is a 223-556 bullet drop reticle, so it works just fine. It'll get you pretty close out to most distances. Of course, you're going to have to specifically zero it for your load in your gun, your barrel length, and the velocity of that load. But really, for most folks, they're not good enough shooters to be able to notice the difference anyway, and you'll be able to just use your holdovers to engage all the way out to 600 meters. Longtime viewers of the channel know that I'm a big flashlight fan. I have tons of them. I'm sure you guys have noticed that, and I always sing the praises of Elzetta flashlights. They're just as durable as flashlights get. If you don't need a IR illumination capability, they're one of the best offerings out there. And Elzetta at SHOT Show this year announced that they were coming out with a new direct mount system for their alpha flashlights. Now, their alpha flashlights run on one CR123 battery, have pretty good lumen output, have a few different bezels that you can use on there, so a strike bezel or like a flat one if you want to use it for EDC. But they came out with a direct mount system, and this direct mount system is sort of the genius of the whole thing. It works with both KeyMod and M-Lock products. So you guys saw that review earlier in the year. It works well on both systems. We've used it on all the way up to .308 caliber rifles and have had zero issues with it coming loose or anything like that. Locks up solid and tucks in real close to your handguard there, so you don't have a lot of stuff hanging really far off your rifle that can get bumped or caught on things. And of course, the Elzetta quality is there, like we talked about with the actual light. So very, very good system, and for an Elzetta anyway, comes in at a pretty reasonable price. Of course, for all these things, we'll have links down in the video description if you guys are looking for them, and you can also check out, of course, the original reviews on the items if you are looking for more details than we're going to get here. But definitely the Elzetta Mini CQB with that direct attach system goes on the top 5 for the year. Next up, we're going to go over a red dot that I think is the premier red dot out there in the world today. It is the Aimpoint T2. Now, you guys saw us run this on a variety of guns, including the Wilson Combat Recon 308, the M60 E6 variant, so full auto fire. It was running just fine. Larry Vickers and myself were out there putting it through its paces out there on the ScalarWorks mount that we had it on, and also we had it on a few ARs as well. And this thing just holds up extremely well. Has night vision capabilities, submersible down very far. I'm not sure off the top of my head how far it goes down. Has a very crisp dot, but the only sort of downside, I guess you could say, is that if you use it with a magnifier, there is still a little bit of a line. But again, most people will never notice that. A nice 2 MOA crisp dot if you want to reach out at distance with a magnifier. And the glass on it is exceptional. It has the flip covers that a lot of folks were looking for on the T1 and H1 series, and the adjustment knobs are also sort of shrouded from impact. Not that it really mattered with the T1s; those things were super tough and rugged. The T2 just sort of takes it to another level. But now the only downside of a T2, if you will, is the price. they're not cheap. So they came out this year, so relatively new item. The prices really haven't gone down because it seems that they've been selling a ton of them even at the price point. So generally going to be around the $7-ish $100 price range, depending on the mount option that you get. But really, if you want the best red dot on the market, this is the one I recommend. Moving away from optics for a moment, we're going to get into some electronic ear pro. Now, I have electronic ear pro all the way down from like $15 Caldwell, like sort of cheap electronic ear pro, all the way up to MSA Sordins and stuff like that. And there's a big difference, obviously, in the quality, not just sound quality, but comfort, build quality, stuff like that, and all those different electronic ear pro. But the one that sort of offers the best bang for the buck, really, in my opinion, is the Peltor Range Guard. Now, ever since I did the review, and I post about them all the time over on my Facebook page when they're on sale, I know tons and tons of you have bought these. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if 500 or 1,000 of you guys have bought these at least and told me about them and how much you like them. So up until like 2 years ago, you were paying minimum $100 for the NRR rating of these things and the sound quality for anything to even come close. $100, $150 at least. Now these things, if you look at like Amazon sales and stuff, are generally going to be under $60, a lot of times under $50. And like I said, the noise reduction rating is really good and the audio is excellent. If you guys haven't looked into sort of home defense options for Ear Pro, definitely recommend you take a look at these. Also take a look at my AR-15s for home defense video where I go into that a little bit and some of the advantages that electronic ear pro may offer in that type of situation. But in terms of being out on the range and being able to communicate with other people, whether it be an instructor giving directions or just fellow shooters out there that you're trying to help out or just shoot the crap with, by all means, electronic ear pro really are great. So these ones at the price point they came in at really do revolutionize the market, in my opinion. Now this top 5 list really isn't any particular order, so the one I'm getting to here isn't number 1, the first one wasn't number 5, etc. Just try to pick the top 5 that I really like in terms of sort of innovation and things that are just pretty awesome that I reviewed in 2015. Now, lastly, we're going to go over the TA31 ACOG with the ACSS reticle. So many of you guys watched my video where I actually talked to the guy who created the ACSS reticle. All the different capabilities of this reticle are simply awesome. Being able to range at multiple distances, working with multiple calibers, whether it be 308, 5.56, 5.45 by 3.9. The instruction manual it comes with, which shows you how to zero and stuff with all those different calibers with that one reticle. It just has a lot of things going for it. Now we combine that reticle, which I do think, my personal opinion, is the best ballistic reticle, if you will, out there. Like, what I mean by that is not an MOA and not a mil reticle. In terms of having holdovers pre-built in, ranging estimates pre-built in, my opinion, it probably is the best reticle out there, at least that I know of right now. So coupling that reticle with an ACOG, especially the TA31, which is the most popular ACOG with the great glass, the durability that Trijicon is known for, and just the myriad of mounting solutions that are out there for it as well, is a combination that is tough to beat. Now, I know some of you guys have used this, and if you have, post below in the comment section, let folks know what this thing is all about, because it's hard for a lot of people to swallow the $1,200 price tag. I get that. I totally get it when you think that, you know, earlier in the video we were talking about a $200 1x4 scope that does a lot of things really well. It does. And not everyone needs a $1,200 optic, by all means. I'm not saying that. But if you have the money and you want a product that you know is going to last really forever, and with just replacing the tritium over a few years, you'll be able to hand it down generations. This is one I definitely take a look at. It's just solid all around. The floor power is very usable at CQB distances with a little bit of training, and out at distance, I mean, the glass is so clear. The reticle works really well for precise shooting. There's just a lot of things going for it. Hopefully I look forward to reviewing some more ACSS stuff next year. I know right now I have a 5-power primary arms fixed version that they have, which is a little bit cheaper, but uses a similar reticle. And I also have the 1x6 in both 300 blackout 7.62 and in 5.56 that we will be reviewing in 2016. So stay tuned for those guys. But this reticle with the TA31 really is an awesome combination. Now, that's pretty much it, guys. Top 5 pieces of gear. Again, I know it was optics heavy, but I just happen to have a lot of cool optics that I reviewed this year. But if you guys have any of this stuff, by all means, post below in the comment section. If you saw videos of gear that I reviewed this year that I didn't include and you said, why not? Post below in the comment section as well. I look forward to reading your comments, guys. As always, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. and I hope to see you in the next video. One last thing before you go, guys, I want to close this video out, obviously being the holiday season, and wish everyone a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and in 2016, obviously here on the channel, we're going to be doing a lot more cool things. Having this as a sort of side hobby, running the channel, is a great thing. I get to play with a lot of cool toys and bring you guys what I think is hopefully great information. I look forward to that continuing in 2016. Again, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.